I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down? He should calm down.
So he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Because Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack. Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please, just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber!
Wanda! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit. I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got drunk, man. Are you kidding?
No, you won the fight.
OMG, I am so excited. Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
Yes. What is up? MCR family? Another daily edition of the podcast. Obviously, we're going to be live for a live fight chat edition of Lomachenko versus Crolla in a sure-to-be one-sided, dominant performance from one of the pound-for-pound greats at the moment in Vasiliy Lomachenko, one of Ukrainian's best, probably the best Ukrainian boxer, second best, depending where you rank Usyk. But digressing from that, obviously it should be, like I said, a dominant performance, but one that we're going to sit here, enjoy, partake in the technician, the matrix that is Lomachenko, and enjoy some high-level boxing because it is going to be on full display here against the one-note, pretty basic mandatory challenger in Anthony Crolla. But before we get to that action, which will be beginning in about a moment, both men are in the ring. Ring walks are done. Fighter announcements have yet to be made. Before I get to all of that fun stuff in the fight itself, of course, I'm joined by the illustrious Mr. Jesse Fugatti out in Dallas. Fugatti, how are you doing over there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Loma fight. You know, I mean, that's a mandatory. I think Crolla is going to...
Yeah, hold on. I'm excited. That's a mandatory.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see Loma. You know, it's always good to see the guys who really personify boxing, right? Like the complete package, the movement, the judging at distance, the combination punching. He's got it all. The footwork. I mean, everything he does, it's beautiful. I love watching fighters like this. So I'm always excited to see Loma fight. And I don't think Crolla is going to look terrible. I do think it's going to be one-sided, but I think Crolla looks in great shape. He's taking this very seriously, and I think there is a case to be made that maybe Loma and Bob aren't taking this that serious. So,
also, I will want to add, because Rob was making this point, I think, on today's show earlier about the Chris Shields Hammer fight, which is tomorrow, obviously, about the lack of Jimmy Lennon Jr. being around there. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is obviously in LA right now for the Top Rank card. It looks like ESPN/Top Rank were able to sort of grab him from Showtime. So, Rob, you now know where Jimmy is. He's with ESPN. Just want to make a note of that for our listeners. And, of course, Rob, when he listens on playback, when he wakes up in the morning over there in the UK, of course, call in 323-870-4051. We're going to take some calls mid-round and, of course, take your calls again. And new callers, of course, after the fight for immediate reactions. Skype as well, Mixed Combat Radio on Skype. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe. Head to patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio to help support the channel in any financial way if you want. But anyways, Fu, back to you. Thoughts on Loma Crolla right before the fight starts, all the last-minute pre-fight predictions and analysis you have.
I think Loma always starts out pretty apprehensive. You know, he's going to fill out the range, see how Crolla's game plan is going to play out. And then rounds 6 through 10, he'll really start getting to work, probably in the I would say 9th, 10th round, probably stoppage. Just real quick, shout out to Santi, Bananarama, Jump Tube. I know we got Aku in the chat earlier, Rubsky, D'Anthony Davis. Thanks for being here, guys. And Santi, you didn't miss shit, honestly. None of the other fights were that great.
I think Mr. DAZN's on the line at the 901.
Mr. DAZN.
The 901 number. I believe that's Mr. DAZN. So Mr. DAZN's on the line as well. I would assume listening to us talk and obviously enjoying the fight as well. Shout out to Santiago, who's also on the line. We'll get to you calls probably round 3 or 4, just so you guys, if you guys want to know, if we want any timing. Probably to get, a little scoring check, obviously, from our unofficial scorecard. Score? I don't know what's the right term. Score, right? Unofficial score? Yeah, unofficial score in Santiago, who is obviously our, occasional contributor on the channel. But final introductions from the ref to both fighters. Jack Reese is the ref. I'm a fan of Jack Reese. I know a lot of people kind of give him some shit, but I like Jack Reese. I think he does some pretty good work.
Great ref. Hey, I was gonna make a little joke. The meme Game of Thrones. It's like the 10-10 scorecards are coming.
Yes, that is definitely true. But one thing we should think about in this fight, Phil, we're less likely to get 10-10 rounds in this fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
There should be a lot of 10-9s, maybe some 10-8s, maybe some liberal 10-8s. We might see some 10-8s where it's just like, hey, look, there was no knockdown, but Crolla didn't land a single punch and he got beat the fuck up for the entire 3 minutes.
Just started, brother. Sorry, brother. He said to let him know when the first round starts. Yes. I think he's trying to sync up. So
yes, fight just starting right now for me. Obviously, Loma is going to take the center. And I like that he's sporting the Laker colors, that gold and purple. I like that. I like
clean.
That. I do.
Somebody needs to wear those colors and do well.
If you ever talk shit about the Lakers again.
You piece of shit. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
Don't you dare.
Don't do it, Polly. Don't do it.
Okay. I would be very upset.
I don't know if Polly wants you using his clip on this show. He doesn't like you.
That is very true. I like how it's been already 40 seconds. We haven't talked about the fight at all. Loma's, they're both fill-out round. One thing I will sort of want to make note of, Loma looks pretty big around the midsection, not like in a bad way, just that he looks bigger. Like I think like he's adding some more muscle to his overall frame. Or maybe just that Crolla is also roughly around the same size. Maybe that's another factor.
Well, I think he's 3 fights at 135 now, probably settling into the weight a little better.
True. Absolutely true. Another thing is that Loma's the one pressuring. That to me is interesting already, that Crolla's the one that's on the back foot with his back on the ropes at numerous times already in this minute and a half of the round already. And Loma's just sort of putting out some feeler jabs, an occasional 1-2, and just, gliding out of range of all these shots like a fucking ballet dancer. It's going to be this for, I think, a couple of rounds before Loma starts opening up. But one thing I will say is that because he's being so aggressive early in terms of his forward aggression, he might open up earlier because he's obviously comfortable. It's not like he's concerned at all.
I think he just sees that Crolla doesn't have the movement for him. Like you can see, Crolla's really worried about anything that Loma's doing. He's barely throwing anything. Loma seems to be feeling more like himself too. Like he looks more like 130 Loma right now. His movements a little better. He's got a little bit of the sidestep going on. Another thing
we have to add to is that it is Crolla. Like it's not Pedraza. Pedraza was a really good opponent. Even though I think people want to sort of shit on that fight, Pedraza was a really good opponent. On top of that, like Jorge Linares. Like think about who he's fought. Crolla is a limited fighter, and like you said, I think he's fully aware of that. And any time that Crolla takes that first step forward to sort of initiate some offensive movement in any way, Lomachenko just glides out of range and just slips out of any sort of danger. But the funny part is because he is so fast, he can just come right back into range instantly and connect with either a slight jab, 1-2 in this sort of early exchanges right now. Obviously, round is over. 10-9 round for Loma. I feel like that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, really nice 3-punch combo at the end there. Ended it with a really nice lead hook. So,
Santiago already saying officially 10-9, unofficially 10-8. Lomachenko. I like it. Already with the liberal 10-8. Santiago. I like it. Because Crolla did nothing, but that's not 10-8 round.
Nothing. Nice shots. Oh, nice body shot.
I'm really curious. Yeah, I can't believe you're ahead of me already. That's weird.
I'll pause it for a second.
No, it's okay. I'll just skip ahead. I'm not live, remember?
Oh, yeah, okay.
But anyways, I think it's interesting already, like, for Crolla, like, what do you do now? Like, you've already given up the forward aggression to Lomachenko, so now you have to reclaim that momentum, and that's very hard to do already. I would expect
ESPN. This is a shit camera angle, guys.
This is a really bad camera angle. Don't ever do this again. I don't know who said, "Yo, this is the lit camera angle right now." There we go. Oh my god, now it's back to like a normal.
That ain't it, fam.
Well, first off, it wasn't. First off, it wasn't like HD, like even like it was. It was like my.
It's like that was off Bob's camera.
It's like on my iPhone, bro. What are you doing?
That was on Bob's phone. Yeah. He's like, yo, put it on my feed. I got the shot.
On his Nokia Sidekick, okay? What the fuck? Second round, 2 minutes and about 15 seconds for those that want to sync up with us.
Yo, what up, Mario?
Mario Misaki in the chat. What up, Mario? Loma, I mean, Crolla's being a little more aggressive here. Like, he's not really giving up the real estate as much without trying to do something. But, again, Loma's just too good. He's slipping all these shots. He's landing jabs at will. And right now, he's just pitter-patter. Right now, he's doing pitter-patter stuff right now just to mess with them.
Like, the thing there is kind of a Mayweather thing. If you see, like, he stepped back just enough that punch was like maybe half an inch from hitting him in the face, just the perfect judge of distance. He doesn't want to get on the ropes like this against Loma. He's going to start getting tore up.
Well, I mean, that's when Loma really starts opening up is when he has you against the ropes. When he feels like he can just do that because what are you going to do? Attack him? Okay, he has all that room to maneuver. That's exactly what he loves. So you can't give him that much real estate to basically get out of your punches. Good right hook to the body there from Crolla. That's probably his best shot this entire fight was that right hook to the body. He needs to open up more. Like the thing with Crolla's game is that he is innately a guy that's going to get hit a lot. So don't worry about getting hit. Stop being worried about Lomachenko's counters and kind of just go for broke. Like you're going to have to at some point.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what Shannon Courtney said, and I really liked her take on it. She said, he's obviously not talented enough to beat Loma. He's going to have to just give it every fucking thing he's got. That was a smooth uppercut just a second ago, buddy. Ooh. Oh. This is reminiscent of Rigo. These 4 or 5 punch combinations.
Nah, Rigo wasn't moving this much.
Rigo was just shelling up the whole time. Crolla's just trying to get away, man, the whole time.
And another thing, Loma's kind of getting mean already in the second round. I like that. Well, also,
I think he just wants to prove to people that he can just put this guy out and get on with the next fight. And one thing about Loma too is he has respect for the lesser opponent. Like he's not someone who's gonna like style on him. No, what I mean is like he's gonna just try to get him out of there. He's not gonna just play. Like,
okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he's
not disrespectful.
He's been pretty disrespectful of Crolla in this entire build-up, I would say.
That's not what I mean. I
understand what you meant by that. Different meaning of disrespect in different contexts of the word. I completely understand. What I'm saying now is like he's clearly said like it's been hard for me to get up for this fight. Like I really don't care about this opponent. He doesn't have a belt. Who cares? It's just a mandatory. Like he's been quite dismissive of Crolla. I think that shows in the ring right now because he wants to get him out of there. You can sort of tell. Mr. DAZN in the chat. DAZN got the best fighters. What up? Yo,
Money, the boxing voice.
You gotta change. You gotta change your name to Mr. DAZN. Like that's just what you need to do.
Or H Money, the MCR voice, maybe, or
Or H Money, Mr. DAZN. Like if you're
there you
if
go.
you're gonna call into a show and say Mr. DAZN, you gotta have your YouTube handle be that. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Dale. I thought this would go later rounds, but Crolla's having no success. By the sixth, seventh round, he'll probably quit in the corner. I just don't see his team letting him go through this. Took some real bad punishment in the second round.
And it's just like Loma is already in like, okay, I'm no longer playing around mode. I'm no longer in feel that mode. And it's the third round. I thought the first round was going to prolong itself to like the second, third, and fourth round a little bit more. And that's obviously not the case.
Oh, my word. That defense. What I love is when Loma does that double jab and he steps.
Double left straights. Ooh, by Loma.
Yeah, when he steps around with that double jab and pushes the guy back into his power hand, it's just fucking beautiful. Oh, there's that Loma movement.
Yo, man, this might make him move up my pound for pound list from.
Fuck you.
Nah, he's still behind Rungs VI.
You bastard.
You bastard. Oh, I got the clip. For all the people that hate me putting Loma at number 7 on my pound for pound top 10.
You piece of shit. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to kill you.
That's goddamn right, Polly. That is goddamn right, Polly. Next time you see him, give him that work.
Oh, that's so good, man. It's so good. A minute and about 20 seconds right now left in the third round. Loma's just, God, it's you can really tell when the amount of sort of pop he puts on his punches changes. You can instantly tell the difference when he's just going to feel that bop, 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 bop to, okay, wham, 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 hard shots, hard combinations. It's a complete different look to his opponent and like how they take the shots. Like there's some of these jabs right now that Loma's putting some mustard on that Crolla's head is snapping back.
Dude, he literally just threw like 4, like not a double jab. He threw like 4 jabs and moved him to the ropes. Like, what the fuck?
Crolla just has no idea what to do.
No idea what to do. But props to him for putting himself in a position for a good payday. And he's a fucking warrior.
I mean,
good,
props to his management team and his promoter for.
Oh, dude, they might end it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, this can't go on. Come on,
end it, Jack Reese. There's no reason. No. Ooh. Ah.
It's a standing 8, Loma, right? It's a standing 8, Loma. Dude, Crolla's pissed. Loma thought they ended it.
I did too.
I mean, I've not really seen standing 8s like that.
I didn't think standing 8s were allowed in California.
I thought
it depends on the state. You have to remember it depends on the state. Certain states allow it, and certain states follow the unified rules of boxing. I don't know. That's maybe he viewed it because the ropes were holding him up, because that's different than a standing 8 count. You have to remember that. If he's thinking, okay, the rope is the reason he is standing up, that is 100% different than a standing 8 count.
Gotcha.
I don't.
Yeah, jump to more question in that too. The rules are all over.
Obviously, I don't have the sound on for the TV, but I would assume Max or somebody. I know Chris Jury's on the team right now. Somebody is going to get information from the commission about that, but I would assume probably that is what happened more than a standing 8. It might have been him saying the ropes are holding him up, which is a completely different thing than standing 8 count again.
Dude, standing 8 count comes into the chat. He says, "I'm right here, Fugatti."
That's funny.
That comment was fire, man. That was good.
Stay off the weed.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Loma's probably going to finish it here, right? Like this.
Oh, man.
He had him done there. He had him done there. I think it's the
Crolla has no idea what to do. I mean, this has to end. This is too big of a beating, man.
God, the way Loma moves, it's so fast and so fluid. I mean, I can't think of anyone that moves the way Loma moves. Like, there's very few people that can mimic that style.
And he just fights right in the pocket. His range, his distance, his judging of range is so good. His footwork is fucking amazing.
God, those uppercuts from fucking Hades.
Oh, shit. He's out. He's out. It's over.
Oh, short fucking right hook. Put him out.
Oh, fucking hell, man. I hope he's okay.
That was a sneaky right hook that was short, man. He slumped him.
I didn't need to see that. He fell right on his nose, man.
At least he's awake. That's a good thing. Holy shit. Call in. 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue. Obviously, international callers, Mixed Combat Radio. Lomachenko knocks out Anthony Crolla with a vicious, short, compact right hook to the temple in the fourth round.
God damn.
Dominant, brutal performance from Loma. Definitely showing, hey, stop putting me with these level of opponents. There's a reason people were shitting on this matchup.
Oh, he's fucked up, man.
Man, he's not all there yet right now.
Look, man, you don't play boxing, and I know Crolla. I don't mean to be disrespectful, guys. He's top level. Worked hard to be where he's at. I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but fuck, man.
Look, there's a difference between these very, very top level guys and guys like Crolla, just being honest. And on top of that, another thing we have to add, like, how many wars has Crolla been in? He's been in a ton. Like, he's another guy that's just from boxing years put a lot of wear and tear on that body. That was a concerning knockout.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. Like that
shot shouldn't have put him out. In a way,
he shouldn't have been in this round. Let's be realistic. That shit should have ended.
Yes,
that shouldn't have been a standing 8 count. Yeah. He shouldn't have had to get knocked out like that.
Absolutely agree. Let's take a caller though. Wow. Santiago, press 1. I just want to make sure you actually want to have your call. Let's go to Mr. DAZN 901. Mr. DAZN.
Yo, what's going on, my brothers?
How you doing?
My brother Matt, what's going on? My brother Matt, you are actually the youngest in charge. I just want to give you that title. And I want to say shout-outs to Gotti. I just like to say that. I like to say that name, Gotti.
Nice.
I'm happy he chose that name. That's a beautiful name. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but I'm just want to talk about the fight right quick. Let's talk. I want to get on the topic. Lomachenko, he's a great fighter. He has tremendous wins on his resume, and his biggest win in my eyes was Gary Russell Jr. when he beat him for 12 rounds. He beat the hell out of him for 12 rounds. You know what I mean? And Gary Russell Jr., he was so scared to even look him in the eyes. I remember the weigh-in. He was so scared of Loma. So Loma is a great champion, man. I love Loma, but I just want to see him step up the competition a little bit. I like him. I mean, he's legit, but he did get dropped, I believe, his last fight, and he didn't take a loss before. We all know Loma has a loss. He does have a loss on his resume. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah,
and
but
he's almost
a lot of guys have losses.
I think.
I think most people have losses on the resume, right?
No, I mean, not Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward and Deontay Wilder and other great champions.
Yeah, you couldn't even compare Wilder's resume to Loma's. I'm sorry.
Or like Wilder's resume with Andre Ward.
Yeah, I mean, Loma, he did beat Gary Russell Jr. and Gary Russell Jr. He's
and
really
Nicholas
not like a
Walters.
Big puncher. He's a good boxer.
And Nicholas Walters.
Oh, yeah, Walters.
And Rigo.
Yeah,
and Pedraza. And Linares.
Oh, yeah, Rigondeaux. You're right. I like him. I do like Lomachenko. I take that back. You're right. He does have good wins, and he's an Olympian, so that counts.
And Rocky Martinez.
Like
I mean, when Martinez was pretty highly touted. So, I mean.
Yeah, Loma has a great record, actually.
Is he from the Ukraine? He's from the Ukraine, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the same as the Klitschko brothers. Aren't the Klitschko's from the Ukraine as well?
Yep.
and Usyk from DAZN. Yes, sir, Mr. DAZN. Let's talk about DAZN real quick. Hyman Munguia, the next Julio Cesar Chavez. He's the next Julio Cesar Chavez. Hyman Munguia, let's give him some credit, brothers. I want to give Munguia some credit right now. He's only 22 years old, a WBO champion. He beat Saddam Ali. Saddam Ali, who's an Olympian, a former champion. He beat Miguel Cotto, and Hyman Munguia knocked him out. He knocked him, man. I love Hyman Munguia, and I believe that Charlo and Jarrett Hurd and those other PBC, those other fighters are ducking Munguia.
That's not happening.
That's what I would like to say. They're ducking that guy.
That's not happening.
I saw you say that that you thought that Munguia had a better resume than Jarrett Hurd.
You know that's laughable, right?
Yes, sir, correct.
Mad laughable.
He beat Saddam Ali.
And?
He beat Saddam Ali, bro, and he beat Liam Smith. He beat Liam Smith. These are good fighters. What
Those are good
Hurd?
fighters.
Hurd beat an old Erislandy Lara.
And Erislandy Lara is far better than Liam Smith has ever been.
Yeah.
And still is. You think Liam Smith right now could beat Erislandy Lara?
There's a reason people don't get in the ring with Lara.
What about Saddam Ali?
Also,
Saddam Ali could beat him.
No,
Ali
he
ain't
can't.
beating
No,
Lara.
he
He's
can't.
getting fucked up
What?
by Lara.
Yo, Saddam Ali's a welterweight, my dude. What are you talking about?
But didn't he have that 154 title?
Yeah, he moved up. He moved up for one fight and beat a injured Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto retired after the fight.
He won a belt.
That's awesome.
Won a title, man.
That's awesome. You know who else won a belt? Hey, you know who else won a belt? Charles Martin won a belt. You know who else won a belt? Bermain Stavern.
But he beat a Hall of Famer in Miguel Cotto.
Yes, he did. Absolutely.
I mean, that's a great resume.
But Mr. DAZN, you have to have nuance with your discussion. You have to have context when you talk about these matchups. You have to be intelligent when you have discourse about this. And Miguel Cotto was past his prime and injured in the fight. And both of them are career welterweights, not junior middleweights. On top of that, Austin Trout and Erislandy Lara, two names that are on Jarrett Hurd's resume, are better names at junior middleweight than anything Munguia has. On top of that, Jarrett Hurd is a better boxer than Munguia. He's a better brawler than him. He has more power than him. And he's tougher than him.
I don't know about that.
It's proven.
I don't think so.
It's proven. So. It's proven. It's not about think so. We have the fights against top-level competition.
Okay.
And guess what? Hold on. Guess what? We have fights with Munguia against subpar competition where he struggles in.
Did you even watch the Munguia Nui fight?
Yeah, that was a great fight. That could have been fight of the year right there.
Yeah, Nui ain't gonna put that on fucking Jarrett Hurd. Like Jarrett Hurd's gonna end that guy.
That guy's a warrior. Jarrett Hurd.
Yeah, but hey, Mr. DAZN, Mike Alvarado's a warrior. Look what happened to him tonight, dog. Like that doesn't mean jack shit.
But he's old.
Was he elite?
He
is 22. Munguia is a great guy. He is top 5 in the division. Is he better than Jarrett Hurd and Charlo? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Jarrett Hurd is the consensus number one at 154 pounds.
And then you have Tony Harrison and Jamel Charlo after him. And then Lara. And then Munguia. You have to pay respect to what people have in their resume.
Look how active he is. Look how active Munguia is.
That's great, but look who he's fighting. Look who he's fighting. Look who he's fighting, Mr. DAZN. Do you know who Dennis Hogan is?
I'm about to run through the resume, and we'll look at where they were ranked. Where do you think Inouye was ranked in the world rankings at 154? Do you think it was top 50?
He has to be. He has to be one of the people. It has to be like a mandatory for him to fight this guy.
So
no, he doesn't have to be. It wasn't a mandatory.
And even if it was, that doesn't mean jack shit. Carlos Ocampo was a mandatory for Earl Spence. Anthony Crolla was a mandatory for Lomachenko tonight. What are you talking about? Mandatories don't mean you're elite.
Keep in mind, we both like Munguia.
Stronger and
it's not that we don't like the guy.
He's a better fighter. No, I don't. Jared Hurd, he doesn't move his head. He doesn't have technique. He's slow. Arislandi Lara is 40 years old. He was beating his ass. I really thought Arislandi Lara won the fight. Did you see Jared Hurd?
Mr. DAZN, first off, your connection is a little bit bad right now. So if you want, hang up, call back in. Secondly, you got to pay respect to the people in the division that have done more, like just have materially done more. Remember, press 1, guys. Gary, I'm looking at you. 678. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Justo. I'm calling from Las Vegas.
Justin?
Justo, Jesto.
All right. What's up, Just?
Nothing much. I didn't get a chance to actually watch the fight. Got off work a little late, but I did tune in to you guys. I just heard somebody make a comment that Loma has a better fight resume than Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
How? One guy has 14 fights and has
better wins.
His last 2 fights. If you're comparing fights, the last 2 fights, Deontay Wilder fought Ortiz and Fury.
So a resume is built on the last 2 fights?
But even then, Linares and Pedraza were 2 top 5 guys in the division.
Seriously, Linares, Pedraza.
Linares was the consensus number 1 135-pounder when Loma moved up and took it as his very first fight in the weight class.
And also, again, if you don't think Linares and Pedraza were top 5 in the division at the respective time that Loma fought them, then please name the top 5 at those respective time. I would love to hear it.
I don't know. I don't have that data for you, but one thing I do know is that right after Linares fought Loma, he was dealt with in 1 round, 2 rounds, and it's
at 140 pounds. Yeah. He moved up a weight.
Regardless,
but he shouldn't have done.
It just shows the skill set. That's a pattern, and it shows the skill set. So Linares,
okay. Well, okay. Again, you're only looking at the last 2 fights. The body of work stands on itself. Nicholas Walters, Gary Russell Jr.
Loma only had 10 fights, bro. Loma's only had 10
and
fights.
again, I've named. Hold on. Hold on. We're not going to handle this conversation this way. I talk, then you talk. Okay. You don't talk over me. I don't talk over you. Understand? Lomachenko. Hold on. I'm talking. Hold on. I'll let you talk. Lomachenko has Gary Russell Jr., Nicholas Walters, Roman Martinez, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Jorge Linares, Jose Pedraza. Name the names on Wilder's resume that are better than that collective body. Is it just Ortiz and a draw with Fury? Is that it?
The only fighter that has any skills, I would give Russell. He's somewhat skilled, but he fights once every 5 years.
Look. I don't want to hear your opinion. Look. You need to answer. You're not answering the question. You're not. Look.
Can I respond?
No, because you're not responding to the question. Name people on Wilder's resume that are equal to that list of names. I don't want to hear your opinionated takedown of these former champions, right now champions. I don't want to hear that because that's not going to fly here. Name the people on Wilder's resume that are equal to those names. That was the question. So respond to that question, please. Going back to you.
All right. Cool. So I'll respond to your question.
Thank you.
You responded to my question with some bullshit, but I will respond to your question. So he's fought Wilder. He's fought Molina. He's fought Duhaupas. He's also fought Spilka, Chris Arioli. Stavern, he's a bum, but he did fight him, and he did have the title at the time. Ortiz and Fury. Come with it.
You understand that only one of those names on that list, 2 of those names, I'll add Stavern. 2 of those names actually held a belt. You understand that, right?
Bro.
And all the names I listed. Hold on. Let me finish. All the names I listed had legit belts. Are champions or former champions. You listed a bunch of top 20 guys. You understand the difference, right?
All right. Can I reply to that?
Yes.
Okay. So Loma was coming into the division. Like I said, he's only had 10 fights. So yes, he has to take down these top bums, even though they have belts.
They're not bums.
He still has to take them out.
What bum?
But
We're moving on. We're moving on. I don't have time.
And he has 14
No,
fights. He hasn't fought a bum. He's never fought anyone outside of the 10th ranked person in the fucking division that he's in. Like, get out of here. Like, that is fucking mad bullshit.
You can't come in here saying top bums with belts and then list Duhapis, my dude. Like, that doesn't fly here. We don't take talking points and propaganda that is not based in reality. Again, I listed champions. You listed fringe 20 guys that never won a belt in their life.
Stavern just got beat by Joe Joyce.
Please educate yourself and then call back in. Santiago in LA. I don't got time for bullshit tonight.
Man, the crazies came out tonight, didn't they? Oh, I had to have a good chuckle after the day I've had today. I'm just going to keep it simple, man. Lomachenko did exactly what we expected him to do. Probably did a lot faster than we expected him to do, but nonetheless, he did what he was supposed to do against a guy of Crolla's caliber. And again, like Jesse pointed out, no disrespect to Crolla. He had a great run, especially when he came back from like being assaulted by two guys, became a world champion, gave Linares 2 tough fights, and then that's just it. There are levels to this game. There are calibers to this game. When you put yourselves up against those elite world-class level fighters, it shows. And for the longest while, we've known Lomachenko to be an elite world-class fighter that makes other world-class fighters or other elite fighters look average, So I definitely hope, contrary to certain people's popular belief, that they do make the fight with Lomachenko, with Mikey or any of the other top names, because at this point, like, we're obviously not going to accept it. Lomachenko clearly doesn't accept it, but he took the fight. He's staying busy. He's staying active. And, at this point, I have to wonder what any of these guys can do, because he looks good. He looks like he's settled at 135. And I can't imagine what his reign is going to be like, because outside of Mikey, and even then, I still favor Lomachenko, and you know how much of a Mikey fan I am. Lomachenko is just in a world of his own at this point. It shows. Everything he's done, everything that's led up to this point in his career, it shows, and it is absolutely bonkers how it shows.
Agreed on all parts, Santiago.
Yeah, man. So if you guys have any questions regarding anything that's happened or whatnot, feel free to shoot. Otherwise, love that I was able to watch this with you guys. Love that I was able to score it. And Matt, my buddy, I cannot wait to see you tomorrow.
That is true. It should be a fun time. We're going to have Shields Hammer, UFC 239. And what else? We have another card. Oh, the Caleb Plant, Peter Quinlan fight. Man, I keep forgetting that. And I shouldn't. Like, there's some really good prospects on that card. We're going to go to Mr. DAZN again. I forgot that you called in. I apologize. We're going to try to expedite this call, Mr. DAZN, okay? We're not going to talk about who's better, Munguia or Hurd, because you're the only person on this entire show that's listening to this entire show that is picking Munguia. So let's try to talk about something involving the fight tonight. Maybe. That'd be really nice. Mr. DAZN, back to
you. Yes, sir. Once again, it's your boy H Money, Mr. DAZN. I'm back on MCR. Yes, sir. Let's get it in, man. I just want to talk about Loma. Loma. Hey, Loma's a good fighter, man. I mean, I do respect him, even though he has a loss. A lot of great fighters had losses. I mean, Muhammad Ali, the list goes on. I mean, the greatest of all time took a loss. So Bernard Hopkins took a loss. Roy Jones took a loss. I'm not going to hate on him. I like him. He's a good fighter. But I just want to start seeing – I want to see him fight a little bit better competition, like elite unifying. I want to see him unify. I want to see the big fights. That's what I'm trying to see, like pay-per-view caliber fights. That's all I'm saying. I like Loma. He's a good fighter. I respect him. And my brother said Loma kind of reminds him of Pacquiao with the movement. And what do you guys think about that? That comparison to Pacquiao with the movement, the ring generalship of Loma.
Thank you for the call, Mr. DAZN. I really appreciate it. And I agree. I think that there is some that darting in and out, quick, athletic, dynamic style that Loma has is obviously very eerily reminiscent of like that prime Pacquiao. Pacquiao is a little bit different because, especially in his prime, because he never really had that warm-up phase that Loma has, where Loma does a lot of pity-pat. I don't mean to use that in a disparaging way. I think like there's a tactical reason for that. Pacquiao never really did that in his prime. He does that far more now, I would say, minus the quick dynamic movement because of obviously his age. He's much more of just a smart tactical boxer that gauges distance quite well. But in his prime, he was a guy that was darting in and out, moving, gliding laterally, and delivering hellish combinations. And that left hand, obviously, from the famed southpaw Pacquiao, was devastating in his prime. So yes, I do think there is some obvious aesthetic comparisons in their movement. Fu, any thoughts on that?
Well, I think, the movement and the volume of punching is definitely reminiscent of like a Pacquiao, but the defensive prowess is on a level that's different. Like
it's far more like Pernell. To me, the defense, if you could have a love child with Pernell Whitaker and Manny Pacquiao, it would be like Lomachenko, in my opinion. With the way he moves just right out of distance with his head, with his shoulders, with everything. But anyways, let's go to our last caller of the night, unless we get any more. It's a goodie and one of the faithful, Gary in Dallas.
Gary!
I had a soundbite in mind to play, but it doesn't matter. Gary, what's up?
You did mention Pernell, Sweet Pea Whitaker, who is one of my all-time favorite fighters, and maybe arguably the greatest fighter I'd ever seen. So when you mention his name, just tread lightly. That's all. When you say Pernell Whitaker, he's on the Mount Rushmore of boxers.
So
you
Gary,
don't think Loma will be?
No, hold on. So Gary, you're telling me if I disparage Pernell in any way,
you piece of shit, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
you're telling me you're gonna come at me like Paulie?
I'm going to come at you like Paulie if you disparage Sweet Pea Whitaker. We had a big debate. I was at the zone card and the Joe Smith Jr. versus Revolve card.
Mm-hmm.
And
how was that, by the way?
Was ringside.
How was it?
That was the fight was good. The fight was really entertaining. It was really a Joe Smith heavy crowd. But the venue's really, really small. They only held like 1,400 people or something like that. But the crowd was good. Okay. We were having a debate who would win in their prime, Whitaker or Sugar Ray Leonard. And there were two of us who took Whitaker, and everyone else thought that was like ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you guys, I don't even know if you're old enough to remember how good Pernell Whitaker is. Like, Pernell Whitaker was better than Floyd Mayweather.
Yes, he was. No, he absolutely was. He just doesn't have the resume. He doesn't have the wins. He didn't have the promotion behind him. He never was the money man, so he never had the career like it. But technique, style-wise, yeah, that Pernell's pound for pound probably the best defensive boxer in the last 60-plus years. You have to go back to like Willie Pep to find probably an equal.
The only other name, yeah.
But to answer your fantasy debate, I will not agree with you though. I thought, look, I know I didn't watch every Pernell fight and every Sugar Ray fight, but I have watched a lot of their fights. Sugar Ray was the right blend of offense and defense for me. Pernell didn't have that right mixture enough to fight those type of guys, in my opinion. But hey, could be wrong.
I still think Sugar Ray opened up too much, and he would miss and you know, Pernell Whitaker would pot shot him, and do just enough to win every round.
Yeah, but come on, but Gary, he's the B side, so you know he's not gonna get the judges' scorecards. You know that. Come on.
You're right. I mean, yeah, Sugar Ray led it by bogus decision.
Yo, Hagler fucking beat him, man. He didn't get the fucking scorecard. What are you talking about?
See, I scored that fight for Hagler too. And that fight it just had like its 30th anniversary or something like that the other day. I thought Hagler won the fight. It was very close. It was not a robbery. Like everyone, Roger got robbed. No, he didn't. It wasn't a robbery. The one scorecard, 118-110, was a robbery. But scoring that fight for Sugar Ray was not inappropriate. It was a terrible decision. But I wanted to touch on two things. Mr. Zone made a point that he said he thought Munguia could beat Hurd. Look, obviously I would pick Hurd, but that fight could be a disaster. I mean, in a disaster, I mean it could be an epic toe-to-toe brawl. And once that happens, all bets are off, right? Like Munguia hits hard enough and is strong enough, and Hurd is flawed enough defensively where that could become a bloodbath, toe-to-toe war where it goes wrong for Hurd. I would pick Hurd. I would make Hurd a huge favorite. But when someone's as big and strong and cracks like Munguia does, it's like fighting Gaddy. He'll probably lose, but he could win.
Look.
So I don't know if that was
Gary, not to interject here, but I'm going to shit on everyone's Munguia parade here. And I know Fu is on this bandwagon with me to shit on Munguia here. And we're just going to do it. Munguia's biggest credit for being a knockout artist is a bunch of fights in Mexico against people we've never heard of, and Saddam Ali, who has historical chin issues and was a welterweight. We have seen post that him struggle and not finish guys like Liam Smith, Takamu Inoue. And the Inoue one was in particular quite damning, in my opinion, of his ability at this stage.
Here's the thing. Brandon Cook wasn't even top 20. I think he was when they fought, he was ranked 91. That's 3 fights ago. 3 fights ago. Munguia has not fought anyone in the top 15 in 3 fights. And I would argue that Saddam Ali, he got a pretty lucky.
He's not a top.
Yeah, Gary's intelligent enough. I think Gary understands. Like, the context of that situation was fucked for Saddam Ali. But I will say this: Munguia, he's not ready for any of those guys yet. I think at this point, the type of fight you're thinking about does not happen. I think Hurd steamrolls Munguia. I think in 5 years at 160, totally different story maybe. But that's 5 years from now.
And I wanted to get on the actual issue, the actual topic of today's show, which was Lomachenko. First of all, I wanted to say, I guess it was Mr. Zone that says he should fight better competition. Really? He's fighting in his 3rd weight class. He's beaten how many world? I mean, what do you mean you want him to fight better competition? We know the Mikey Garcia fight is going to be difficult to make with Bob Arum. Okay? Outside of that, what do you want him to fight 3 guys at once? You want him to fight Anthony Joshua? What else do you want him to do? I mean, I openly root against Lomachenko in every single fight. Every time he steps in the ring, I root for the other guy. I was the biggest $1 million Crolla fan today. But that being said, you can't criticize his level of competition. He fights everybody.
What is your issue with Loma?
But hold on. So, Gary, you telling me that Wilder doesn't have a better resume than Lomachenko?
No, Wilder doesn't have a better resume. He was saying two hoppers.
Yeah, maybe I'm two hoppers, man.
Molina.
Yeah, the first name was Molina. I died.
Duhaupas knows how to survive. Duhaupas went the distance with Jarrell Miller, and I think he went into the 12 rounds with Wilder. So Duhaupas knows how to survive.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, you can't say that guy's good. He's clearly awful. And Molina and yeah, come on. I mean, Loma fights everybody. I mean, he's still, I think, featherweight size, now fighting at 135. Like when he fought Pedraza, and when he fought, especially Linares. Linares was huge compared to him. Linares was 15 pounds bigger than him, and Loma knocked him out. Like I don't like Loma. I root against Loma every time he fights. But you can't take anything away from the guy. His talent is undeniable. He's a special fighter. Like what he does in the ring is unique.
Gary.
And he fights everybody.
Gary,
yeah.
I want you to answer Fu's question. Why don't you like Loma, man? What's the deal?
when he was doing like the bull and the matador thing with Jason Sosa, I don't like that stuff.
Jason Sosa was taunting him.
Yo,
what are you talking like?
Wait, hold on. You're a Jason Sosa stan? Is that what we're secretly finding out here from Gary's?
I am either a
Mariaga taunted him. Jason
Sosa.
Sosa taunted him. Every time that Loma has taunted another fighter, they taunted him first.
Yo, you hear Fu right now? You talk shit about Loma?
No, man, but I'm just.
I'm
gonna keep it real.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
We'll get so angry.
Jason Sosa tried to style on Loma with his little Ali shuffle, and then acting silly, and Loma made him look like a clown.
Just said. Jason Sosa, a gatekeeper, a C level, a C plus, a B minus level guy, tried to style on a once in a generation talent. Listen to what you just said, bro. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Did
you watch the fight? He taunted.
He did the Ali shuffle. I mean, that is.
Yes, he did.
Like that is trying. Come on, it's not. It's not
Jason
succeeding.
Sosa to the
It's not succeeding.
Yes,
but it is trying.
He tried to taunt Loma and got the shit kicked out of him. And then Mariaga taunted Loma and immediately got put on his ass. Like,
also, Gary, like the Matador thing, like that's the thing that's going to make you not like Loma? Of all the things?
It's that. There
Really?
was the Rigo fight when he hit Rigo for no reason after the bell. And no, he didn't hit him hard, but if that was Andre Jarrell, he would have acted like a bus hit him and the fight would have been over. Right? Like, there's just a lot of things I don't like about Loma. Nothing about his skill set. I think he's tremendously talented. I think he's an amazing fighter.
Stay off the weed.
I can't, dude. I can't believe that. I can't believe that, Gary.
Oh, Gary. Nah, Gary's pretty consistent with people he doesn't like. I was gonna be like, do you like Broner? But I'm like, I know Gary doesn't like Broner.
Doesn't like Broner.
Who likes
I like
Broner?
watching Broner get beat up.
Mayweather's his favorite fighter.
I don't like Mayweather. I rooted for Mayweather against Hatton and Pacquiao because Mayweather was the American.
You rooted against? Wait, you rooted against Ricky Hatton? You heartless bastard! How dare you?
Why am I supposed to? I don't understand. Why was I supposed to root for Ricky Hatton?
Rob's never going to like you again.
Yeah, he's never going to talk to you again. Rob's definitely going to listen to this show and just like block you on social media.
I mean, I'll get over that. If Rob doesn't want to talk to me, I'll move on with my life.
Ricky Hatton post that Costa Zoo fight. Man, he was the people's champ. He was. He didn't want him to do well against.
If you remember, before the Mayweather fight, he got a decision over Luis Collazo, in which he lost every round.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
I'd ever seen.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad one. Yeah, forgot about that.
But I want to Crolla's game plan. I know it's like Mike Tyson says, everyone's got a game plan until you get hit. But was his game plan really to go off the back foot and box Lomachenko? Really his game plan?
I have no idea. I have no idea what he was thinking. I'll be honest. That can't be his game plan. I think he came in there and Loma just like kind of just pressed him a little bit and he backed up because he had no idea what to fucking do. He was not ready for that.
This is all for the bands, guys, so don't come at me. But it's like two kids when they are going to get in a fight, or like one kid is picking on another, so the dads are like, you guys are going to fight each other to work this out. And the one kid just doesn't want to fight or doesn't know how. That's how it looked.
Yes,
it looked like he was just running away the whole time, you know?
Yes, that was it.
But Crolla's a pro. Crolla was a former world champ. I mean, he's been with everybody. All of a sudden, he got scared. Like,
I'm not gonna say he's scared. I don't think he knew what to do. Like, there's a very different thing. There's two different things. Like, when you are coming in thinking, okay, like Loma's gonna be on the back foot these first couple rounds, I'm gonna get my rhythm going, and all of a sudden, the first second of the fight, Loma bursts into the center of the ring and takes the real estate of the entire ring. I think he just his brain didn't compute that. I think that's more of what it was than he was scared. I think he's just not an intelligent boxer, and that is obvious.
Yeah, I just think also you can't prep for Loma.
Intelligent enough, obviously. That's all.
Right. Like they made this point. Who are you going to bring in and spar that moves like Loma?
Obviously, nobody.
No one.
I mean,
you can spar to prepare for other fighters. You know, you can spar to prepare for Tank Davis. I mean,
you hate Tank Davis, don't you? Just
no, man. I'm like you though.
You feel
Here's
about
the thing.
Tank Davis like I feel about Keith Thurman.
Here's the thing. Like
No,
you
hold on,
talk
hold on,
about
hold on.
Loma,
No, very-
right?
very
I'll
quickly.
explain the Tank Davis
Hold on,
thing to you.
hold on. No one on this panel hates a boxer the way you hate Keith Thurman, Gary. Let's get that 100% straight here,
That's
okay?
true.
But back to you, Fu.
What I don't like boxers who have no respect for the sport. I don't like boxers that have no discipline. I don't like boxers who talk shit all the time about people and then never take the fight and fight people a weight class below them for the last 3 or 4 fights when they're holding a belt, or people who say, I'm too young to take real fights. You 20 fucking fights into your career and you don't want to take real fights and you have a belt? Give that shit up then. Like, give that shit up.
You don't like guys who have no respect and no discipline, but then you were just bashing me for not liking Ricky Hatton, who would weigh 200 pounds in between fights. Really?
Yeah. You know why?
Yeah, but I was never a Ricky Hatton stan. I was jokingly saying that thing about Hatton because I wanted to make the Rob joke. It was just bants. I don't really care about Ricky Hatton.
I do. But I have no standards, so.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you for the call, Gary. Always appreciate it. Fu, that's it for tonight. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It looks like Loma's developing some power at the weight. I don't know. That was a just fucking money combination that he ended with. He looked good. Like you said, I think he's filling out. He's starting to settle into the weight. Movement looked good. Obviously, it looks like his arm is healed. He was using both hands much better this fight than the last one, right? These guys are funny.
I'm not going to read that comment from the chat, but please don't post jokes that are that funny and that offensive, because I can't both laugh and be a liberal about it.
I didn't even see that one.
Yo,
Tank, I agree with you. I agree with you that Tank Davis is a massive talent, and that's what's disappointing. That is what's very disappointing. I'm going to leave it with that. But
he's fighting Gamboa next, man. Get hyped, man. No. Hey, did you listen to the show earlier by chance?
I haven't listened to it all.
Oh, you're not going to be happy then with my take on it.
With Tank and Gamboa?
Yeah, it's a good fight.
No, it is a good fight. It's fine.
Okay. Ooh.
Like, Tank being in with the guy... that's a good fight for him. That's an experience fight. You know? Like, Gamboa is going to test him. You know? He's not going to win, but he'll test him. But yeah, I mean, I love doing the fight chats with you guys. The chat was great. Thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate you guys so much. Your continued support is awesome. Thanks, Matt, for being here. I know it's pretty late.
That's only 10 over here, but it's probably midnight over there for you. But anyways, find Fugatti, MCR, all platforms. Find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, all platforms. Have a great night, great morning over there in the UK. All of our UK listeners and our viewer base on YouTube. Have a great morning. Enjoy the fight. Have some tea, coffee, some crumpets, whatever, and enjoy the show and the fight. Have a good one. Peace.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
You piece of shit! I'm gonna fucking kill you! I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you!
Stay off the weed.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?